MPs have rejected amendments to the Internal Market Bill which would prevent it from breaking international law. The bill previously passed through the House of Commons, but faced a tough time in the Lords, with peers adding a number of amendments. One of these included removing the government's ability to override parts of the Brexit withdrawal agreement. Downing Street said the section of the bill was essential to protect the flow of trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland if no deal with the EU is achieved. However, earlier this year Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis acknowledged the clauses would break international law in a specific and limited way. MPs were asked to reinsert the powers with a vote in the Commons today. They voted against the Lords' changes with 357 to 268, creating a majority of 89. This means the controversial section of the bill which enables ministers to breach international law has now been reinstated. It will now return to the Lords, where peers will decide whether or not to try and reinsert their amendments. It comes just hours after Downing Street said Boris Johnson would be prepared to drop the law-breaking clauses of the bill if the current Brexit stalemate was brought to an end. A spokesperson for the government said earlier today, discussions continue to progress and final decisions are expected in the coming days. The UK government would also be prepared to deactivate clauses 45 and 47, concerning state aid, such that they could be used only when consistent with the United Kingdom's rights and obligations under international law. Good progress continues to be made regarding the decision as to which goods are at risk of entering the EU market. Talks continue this afternoon. In the light of those discussions, the government will keep under review the content of the forthcoming taxation bill. EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier, wearing a protective face covering to combat the spread of the coronavirus, walks to a conference centre in central London on December 4, 2020 as talks continue on a trade deal between the EU and the UK. Johnson and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen spoke over the phone tonight, and appeared to confirm Brexit discussions remained at stalemate. In a joint statement, the Prime Minister and von der Leyen said they had taken stock of the ongoing negotiations and agreed that significant differences on governance, fisheries and a level playing field still lie between them. They then confirmed that they would work together in person to try and resolve the issues. They said, "We asked our chief negotiators and their teams to prepare an overview of the remaining differences to be discussed in a physical meeting in Brussels in the coming days.